Alright, timestamp. It is November 20th, 2025. It's almost 8 a.m. 7:55. Quit knocking my stuff on the ground, please, Acorn. Thank you. I'm gonna walk some dogs. And I'm gonna open a package I think I got yesterday. Okay, if you walk, I can walk. There we go. Yeah, you're very tall when you stretch out like that. Don't do that. He could put his paws on my shoulder. Oh, okay. Probably low 60s, maybe? It's nice. It's nice. Oh. Using the restroom, or is there a bunny? I feel like there's a bunny. Oof. A little congested. It's not a great situation for me to be in. But I'm not, freaking out or calling the hospital or anything like that. Whew, man. Been working the burn barrel and it's kind of full, like I'm gonna have to sift it here pretty soon, I think. Spent yesterday with my girl. I just feel like I'm loading a musket. A little moist from morning dew, it looks like. There's still some smoldering deep down. It's all very Silent Hill. Let's see. Bit of smoke going on there. Keep finding stacks of papers and just huge amounts of stock advisories and recommendations and please invest with me papers. Stacks and stacks. Because, we keep everything. Some of it's from 2004, 2009. Yeah, there's some heat still. Good. But they're addressed to my parents, so again, keeping my promise, burning it. But my girl and I discussed things that she was looking for Monster High and future plans. Acorn. No. Just enjoying those nice kind of calm days after everything that's gone on. It's nice being able to take a beat, Real nice. Had a moment of excitement and or I don't even know. There was a lot of things going through my head. Phone was ringing and it said Department of Veteran Affairs, and I'm like, ooh, huh? Picked it up, and it was the VA wanting to make sure that it was okay that they sent medication over to where my dad was, because I guess he had to re-up on his drugs. Had a lot of thoughts in my head. I mean, if something went horribly wrong, I didn't figure they'd be calling me. But at the same time, there was the thought of, hey, did something open up for him? Okay, Acorn has the zoomies. Great. Get it out of your system in here, because there's not enough room to do that in there. Focus on inside right now, Marcus. Don't look around and get overwhelmed. I mean, not a backyard, it's a salvage. That's just one side of the yard. No more sugar for you. I think he got into the chocolate or something. I'm kidding. But Lanai. Poolside. That canopy over there has nothing but like totes and cardboard boxes of stuff. And there's another 30 large totes plus some cardboard boxes. Tiny dragging a box to the workshop. Yeah, we're going. Come on. Go. Go. Oh my God, guys. You guys are insane. Calm down. Thanks. You ready? Gotta admit, he's growing on me. As long as he's doing the right thing, you know? Get some more coffee. Been up about an hour. Woke up to Modern Undead. It's a Peter Davison episode with, I think is it Turlo's first episode? I think. 2 brigadiers. There's a bit of a time issue there. Got a Nissa, a Tegan. And Adric has just left the show not too long ago. I think I saw that episode initially when I was like 15 or 16. That episode, Ursoc. That was traumatic. We're doing some Harry and David milk chocolate and peanut butter, I think. Yeah. The peanut butter and the caramel bags look so similar. So, like, which one did I make? I don't remember. Am I having a senior moment? Pause, hold on. So, remember in high school when you didn't study and then you realized an hour before the exam that you didn't study and there was an exam? Every now and then Tiny does this thing where there was a huge list of stuff and nothing got done, and then, oh God, I've got 20 boxes to move and this needs to get done and this needs to get done. You get it. So, Tiny's trying to get into heaven right now. You know how it is. So one thing I did want to show you, because I had mentioned about the Fisher-Price Adventure people as like an early action figure, like in the almost counter variety. I got to mix a lot of action figures the other day. Big old thing, like 70 figures. Trying not to bore you guys, you know. There was some Star Wars and some like DC Comics and some Marvel, stuff like that. Stuff I'm keeping, stuff I'm selling. Got a good price for it on eBay, and that's kind of the point. One of the things that I'm going to keep, but I got to clean them up because, wow. So Fisher-Price in the 70s. And this freaked out my kid. Because Tiny was looking at it, was like, when did this come out? And I said 1974, which predates Star Wars, you know. But they did Adventure People, and some of them are just everyday folks, doctors, pilots, divers, farmers. I mean, you know, occupationally speaking, pretty good, you know, action figures. They also did like a sci-fi line with like aliens and robots and astronauts and stuff. And this is one of the, I think he's supposed to be a robot of some sort. But he's pretty much like kind of a see-through material. You know? Really, really dirty. I gotta clean him up. This came out in 1974. Now, one of the things that's really interesting to me, just from an action figure standpoint, very Kenner-like. They're a little bit shorter. They're like 3.5 to 3 inches instead of 3 3/4 to 4 inches. But the arm configuration, and this is at a glance, you can tell usually if you're not sure if it's a Fisher-Price or not. At a glance, you know, this is a good rule of thumb because it's about arms. The right arm is going to be pretty much normal, you know, I'm going to hold a pew-pew or I'm going to shake hands with you. The left arm is almost always kind of cocked in front of the body, and the hand is down as though it can grab a steering wheel. You know, or a lap restraint, or it can pick something up off the table. You know what I mean? It's in this kind of hand shape. But yeah, he's neat, and he's in need of some TLC. Eventually, he's even got some like scraping on the back. You can see on the shoulder blades and on the butt. Eventually, once I set up my laboratory, I'll be able to do some paint matching and or a little bit of restoration. But I thought it was cool to get him. I think I don't know that I have one of him. I think I have one of him, but he's actually like a solid black plastic instead. They did several different variations of some of the same figures. No holes in the feet. Kenner introduced that trick. But yeah, 1974, a couple years before Star Wars came out. Fisher-Price Adventure People. Not a bad line. But now what you think of, me personally, when I think of Fisher-Price, I think of little kid toys, especially like Little People. Been around forever, you know. Peanut butter. One of my new giant 15-ounce mugs. New to me. These came out in 1998 or 2000 or 98. That's the series where they did apparently Bugs, Sylvester, Tweety, and Taz. They're the only four that I've seen floating around the interwebs. What this should be is a vendor that almost caused me trauma the other day. So I'm tooling through my emails and I see that I've been issued a refund. Which made me think that something had gotten canceled. Because, you know, people do cancel purchases. And I thought, because I saw what it was and I went, damn it. He gave me a $3.20 refund because the eBay shipping went a little bit high. Number one, very stand-up, very cool. Additional, email me about it so that I don't have to email you and go, what is this? Because I thought I had lost out on this purchase. Some interesting packing materials. Huh. Weird. There's lots of it. You threw in some bonus items. What? You didn't even know this. I actually collect playing cards. The Sin City playing cards. And one of those Doctor Who vocalizers. I have one over there already that I got in a mix slot. That's actually on the board. I'll send you some bonus toys. This is the reason. This is what I bought. Now, the Skittles dialects have a horrible reputation as being just ridiculous and silly and all that, and I get it. We've talked about this. But this is from that vendor that had a whole bunch of the white, a whole bunch of the yellow, a whole bunch of the orange. And my thinking on this was, from a classic standpoint, the yellow and the orange are not going to, they're not going to pass as like classic dialects ever. So all the classic dialects are gold, black, gray, some that are kind of an unusual blue, like almost a gunmetal blue, gray kind of thing going on. Just not going to work, you know. But if let's investigate, see if there's margaritas in here. Yeah, I'll look like that. It's cool. I like this. Oh yeah. Packing material's heavy. And I already have a couple of each You know, the red, the blue, the yellow, the orange. My thought, top of my head is missing. Hey, I'm back. Now they are. The white ones are classic enough from like an army building standpoint. If I need to populate a diorama, a set with a group of dialects that look uniform, the white ones might not be a bad way to go, because most of the other ones that are out there I'm going to pay 30 or 40 bucks each for. You'll find them on eBay for usually even some of the more common, like gold ones from the more recent series. They're going to be 23, 25, 27 with like 8 bucks shipping per 10 bucks, 12 bucks, 15 bucks. So at the end of the day, you're paying over 30 bucks per. I do have some money to work with, but I'm also not trying to spend all of my money, you know. The white ones, he had the white, the yellow, and the orange. And he had them for $15 with like $6 shipping, plus he combined shipping. So at the end of the day, because of the combined shipping, I was paying under 20 per. But me had that thought of, if I were to get a bunch of white, because I already have 2, so I got 3 white from the guy. Because that, if I'm doing like an old school diorama, having like a black dialect and then like 5 white, as though there's a command dialect, and then the white make up the drone population, that could actually work. That could actually work, you know. But I picked up one more yellow and one more orange from the guy too, just because the price was good, and with the combined shipping, paying less than 20. I was paying probably, I think I broke it down, I was paying like 18 per, which, okay, I can work with that, you know. Again, I'm trying to not break the bank. Okay. And yes, I'm going to open my toys. I'm just going to open one of the white ones, I think. Yes, I will. Thank you. Then I got a mountain of dishes I got to get on. Probably going to turn on some very loud music. Definitely in a theater mood. I may throw in some Jekyll and Hyde. I think I have Sweeney over there. Into the Woods. I think I have the original Grease soundtrack too. Probably. Yeah, as a funny note, if you're a Rocky Horror fan or even remotely intrigued by it, whatnot, the guy that played Brad, Barry Bostwick, to the best of my knowledge, he's the original Danny Zuko, the John Travolta part on Broadway. He's the original Danny Zuko. Kind of cool. And quite frankly, Rocky Horror, depending on what version you've seen, the dude can sing. They cut out from the motion picture, at least most of the cuts, a really good song for Brad called Once in a While. he's actually got a solo. But I don't think they put that in any of the different releases, motion picture-wise. I've seen it online, though, so I know they filmed it. That's gotta be disheartening. You do a solo for a movie musical, you nail it, and they cut the scene. What does that feel like? And it is your solo. He's in duets and everything else, but that is his solo. Really? Thanks. At least he got paid, right? Take your girlfriend to it. Okay, my scene's coming up. I had a song that should have been, you know what, in editing, maybe they cut it, maybe they put it in later. Nope, we're way past where it would be relevant. They cut my song. Can't even imagine that. Alright, so got the standard roly, pretty normal for these. Good mobility, good design. A little bit of movement on this stuff. I don't think they have any other things that open or surprises. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everybody. It'd be real easy, and I know I've seen some people that have actually done some, like, they've opened them up and done some, like, LED kits and changed out these to where they like light up and glow and stuff. It's cool, but so yeah, I got 3 of these guys, and I got a yellow and an orange. The yellow and the orange, but from a drone. I mean, you know, picture in your mind's eye if you've got, you know, 11, Matt Smith and Amy, you know, and they're having a discussion with Davros. I can have, you know, 10 dialects in the display that are all different, which, you know, I can. But it's kind of, it lacks uniformity to the point where it might be confusing. It's not as, like, aesthetically pleasing. But hex, my cat was just startled by nothing. Walk it off, man. Go look yourself. I don't know what that was. But if Matt Smith and Amy have 5 of these guys in an arc around them, you know, with Davros and maybe one other different dialect, like next to Davros or in the corner of the room, whatnot, it looks better as a scene, if that makes sense. And again, for the price, because some of the older black, and they've got some that are like, and I did pick up a couple here and there, but not enough to really populate a room. Some like black with blue that look really sharp. Black and white. Some of the gold ones look really good, but I don't have 5 or 6 or 10 of just one type. Now I do. And I can make that work. And they do. They have enough of a, because they're not something really unusual from the Crayola box. This could pass as even a 1960s dialect. because, especially like First Doctor, Second Doctor, they for the most part weren't doing color. It was black and white. So, you know. Ooh, I'm curious. Yep. BBC copywriting. BBC, I don't know if you can read that or not. Terry Nation, 1963. Because again, the Terry Nation estate, I guess, still holds rights to the Dalek concept, the character of the Daleks. So, anytime they do a toy or an episode or whatnot, you got to get the endorsement, the blessing. I expect there's money that probably exchanges hands too. I don't think they're as cutthroat in the UK as they are here in the States regarding, getting paid. But because we're way too aggressive and consumed with monies and commercialism and consumerism and all that. And I know this from talking to, if you're in, Germany or something like that, you already know this. You guys are concerned and confused about us because we're way too cray-cray about that stuff. We're very stressed out about it all the time. Very cool. From a political standpoint, switching gears, and also as a means of time-stamping this, Congress has nearly unanimously said yes to the Epstein files being released. It's going to be interesting what the big orange guy does. I still maintain that, this is my theory, allegedly, I think that one of the main concerns, and I've said this for a while, you can check my old videos, I think one of the main concerns here, why he's been fighting so hard to make sure this doesn't get out and doesn't see the light of day, I do think he was absolutely a customer. But do you remember that Razor commercial? If you're a Gen Xer, you will. I liked it so much, I bought the company. I think he was not only a customer, but I think he was part of the process, recruiting through Mar-a-Lago. And I think that's what he's really concerned about. I think it's not just I'm a dirty man. I think it's I'm a dirty man that was part of the business. Maybe not recruiting to the extent that Maxwell was, but an accomplice to it. Because I think Mar-a-Lago was a hiring pool. Get in a bunch of pretty girls working in the spa. They're in a TV guy's billionaire resort, working, meeting, being around wealthy, influential people all day. It's a great opportunity. You might get discovered. You might get spotted, by a director, by a fashion designer. And every now and then Jeff or Maxwell would come along and go, we'll take that one, I like that one, the redhead in the back. I think he was part of the hiring pool. Allegedly, my theory. I'm allowed to have an opinion. For the moment, First Amendment's still out there. Prove me wrong. Maybe I am wrong. I don't think I am. I think he's real worried about that. As far as Bill Clinton being in there, yeah, I'd be shocked. Shocked, I say. Can we all just look back in time and remember that the first impeachment situation was because he was having some kind of an unusual oral tryst with one of his interns? The idea of him hanging out with a guy that always had teenage girls and whatnot, and they were pretty much enslaved by him. Yeah, Bill Clinton would hate being around that. That'd be terrible. Oh, no, not that. Oh, no, not the island. Gosh, I hate it there. Hillary, don't make me go. Yeah, I think he might be a customer. Maybe not. Maybe not. But I still think his marriage to Hillary was mostly for show anyway. Hillary wanted a political career and knew that a single woman, or even maybe even I'll go there, a lesbian, in the 80s, 90s, you're not going anywhere in politics. You're a woman and you're gay. 80s, 90s. Nope, you're done before the game starts. But if you marry a really good-looking, kind of charming dude and pretend you're straight, okay, that could be a door in. And that's not me disparaging anybody in the rainbow, because if you know me, that's not who I am. That's me commenting on, I know how society works, and I was there in the 80s and 90s. Exactly. Gay men couldn't get anywhere. Well, Broadway, Hollywood, but there was still whispers in the corner. Not quite a pariah, but don't let them near the children. They might be contagious, I'm a straight guy, and I'm telling you how it is. I'm not even like an angry queen. I've known some of them. I'm a theater guy. I've known a few people in the rainbow. One or two. 100,000. Yeah. So this is going to be real interesting. What excuse will they come up with to not release it? The bright side is, with the Epstein estate playing ball with Congress, if information gets tampered with or redacted and whatnot, they can kind of cross-reference. So that's useful. Remember that Pam had a bunch of people, not my Pam. I can't even Pam. Pamela Joe had a bunch of, I guess, assigned a bunch of FBI agents to go through and find the orange guy's name in all the files and like redact or cross it out or whatever. Hours and hours of work for like 100 agents or something. It was ridiculous, the numbers that I was seeing. I mean, the numbers I was seeing online in the reports was like, this can't be real. But it looks like they did spend a lot of time and resources to do that. Because they're all about transparency, of course. So yeah, if any files have been altered, doctored, whatnot, the ability to cross-reference it with a purer source exists. It's actually got like a chip in the paint going on back here. Very minute. I just saw that and went, is that dirt? No, that's a paint thing missing. I'll be damned. Okay. Not really worried about it, but that also brings up the idea of the white is painted and not molded. So, if they're all like that, technically, I probably could get some of the like yellow or orange, strip the yellow or the orange, and it would be, looks like the gray, this really dark gray base. That's the color I'm seeing there, is a dark gray, which matches the sensory bubbles. So I could actually, if I got them cheap enough, make my own customs. And I would know at that point, what I would need to strip to make it happen. Remember that for later. Exactly. I'm gonna sign off here. I hadn't done entry in like a day and a half, so I'm trying to be better about that. Anyway, I don't want to do the dishes. I need to do the dishes. Anyway, make it a great day.